Hi, and welcome to NittanyCow Tutorial 2, Creating Catalogs and Rations. This tutorial will cover the basic functions to create and manage rations and catalogs of rations within NittanyCow. As you view this tutorial, you may want to pause the video so that you can follow along on your computer, and you can always watch this tutorial again until you are comfortable with the topics that are covered. For more information on anything you see here, please visit our website www.NittanyCow.com. First, let's go over some basic terminology. This is the NittanyCow home screen. At the top, you see the main menu. These menu options control general options that have to do with items like program settings, managing databases, and organizing catalogs or rations. In a moment, we will be working within a ration, and you will see a second menu appear below the main menu, called the Ration menu. Let's begin by creating a catalog in NittanyCow. A catalog is similar to a file folder, where you will keep all related rations belonging to a single operation or client. In order to create rations, you must first create a catalog where your rations can be saved. To create a catalog, go to the main menu and select Manage Rations, then select Manage Catalogs from the menu. In the Catalogs window, go to Catalogs and select Add New Catalog. This will display a blank field in the catalog list. Click on the first blank field and type a catalog name. Then type a catalog description to help you identify the catalog from your list of catalogs later. Then click Save. Your catalog is now created. Now we're ready to create a ration. From the main menu, select Manage Rations from the Manage Rations menu. Then click Rations, Add New Ration. This will open up a blank ration. Notice that NittanyCow rations are set up as a series of worksheets, each dealing with a different part of the ration, and you can navigate between them by clicking on the appropriate worksheet tab at the top of the ration window. The Cow worksheet will be the first worksheet you see when you open a new or existing ration. This is where you will enter the basic settings and information for your ration, including the ration name and description, unit of measurement options and milk price, client information, and animal information. As you work with your ration, you can edit this information at any time by navigating back to the Cow worksheet. If you have created clients or breeds as discussed in Tutorial 1, these options will be available for you to associate with the ration in the appropriate drop-down menu. In particular, please be sure to accurately enter the animal information, as this information is used to generate the predicted nutrient requirements discussed later in this tutorial. Once you have entered in the appropriate setup information, click Save. Next, we will add feeds to our ration. From any worksheet in the ration, go to Feeds in the Ration menu and select Add Feed. This takes you to the Select Feeds window. In order to find the feed you are looking for, first select the source. NittanyCow comes installed with a list of common feeds containing default nutrient profiles in the standard feeds list, as well as a smaller list of commercial feeds. Over time, you will also create your own list of feeds in the User Feeds and Mill Feeds lists. You can learn more about user and mill feeds in Tutorial 3. For now, we will select our feeds from the standard feeds list. Once you've selected a source, then you need to narrow your selection by feed type. To select a feed to add to your ration, check the box next to all of the feeds you need. You can navigate to different feed lists and make multiple selections, rather than adding feeds one at a time. As you select feeds to add, your choices will be displayed in the box to the right of the available feed lists. Once you have made all the appropriate feed selections, click OK to add these feeds and return to the ration. You can always return to the feed list to add more feeds later, so don't be concerned if you forget to add all the appropriate feeds. To speed things up, I will fast forward through this process. Now that you have your feeds in the ration, you will want to adjust the nutrient profiles of the feeds in each of the relevant worksheets, or you may choose to rely on the default values for certain feeds. To alter feed nutrient values manually, select the appropriate cell for a given feed in a worksheet and then enter the desired value. However, the preferred method is to double-click the name of the feed you wish to alter. This will bring up the Edit Feed window, where you can be sure you are editing values for this specific feed. In this window, you can review and edit all relevant data specific to this feed. Once you have finished editing the values for the feed, click the Save button to return to the ration. We recommend that once you have changed the nutrient profile of a feed, You give that feed a unique name to distinguish it from the default standard feeds. Simply place your cursor in the appropriate cell, delete the old name, and type the desired name. Or you can edit the feed name from within the Edit Feed window. This step is particularly important for creating user or mill feeds discussed in Tutorial 3. Sometimes we find that we made a mistake in choosing the appropriate feed for our ration. There are two quick and easy ways to correct the problem. If you right-click on the feed you need to change, you will see a Delete Feed option in the menu, which should be used if you have a feed you want to eliminate without replacing it with another feed. However, there is also a Swap Feed option. Using this method, we can replace one feed with another, and NittanyCow will retain the dry matter and as-fed amounts in the ration. In this example, I have chosen to replace unprocessed corn silage with processed corn silage. Now that the relevant feed analyses have been altered, you can enter relative or absolute amounts of intake on a dry matter or as-fed basis. Note that if you enter a feed amount in the dry matter column, NittanyCow will automatically calculate the as-fed amount and vice versa. At the bottom of the ration worksheets, you will see summary calculations for the ration, nutrient concentration, totals, the predicted requirement, and the difference between the nutrient total and the predicted requirement. Notice that each time you change the amount of a feed in the ration or a nutrient value for a specific feed, NittanyCow recalculates the totals and concentrations at the bottom of the ration. Although the predicted requirements provided by NittanyCow are based on proven formulas adjusted by the animal information entered in the cow worksheet, users can change any requirements to suit their business. Simply highlight the requirement and enter the desired value, and NittanyCow will use this value to calculate the difference between the nutrient total and the predicted requirement. As you adjust the ration, refer to this summary information to determine how close the ration is to the appropriate balance for any given nutrient. In addition to providing detailed information about the ration in the ration worksheets, NittanyCow also provides summary and diagnostic information in the analysis section. To access ration analyses, select Options from the ration menu, then select Analysis. This will display a series of 8 analyses pertaining to different aspects of the ration. You can navigate between analyses by clicking on the appropriate tab at the top of the window. These analyses provide predictions and summarize important nutrient ratios based on the data provided in the ration worksheets. The analysis section is intended as an easy diagnostic tool to quickly identify ration deficiencies, but please remember that the predictions provided are not a guarantee of actual results. To find out more about the specific analyses seen here, consult the analysis section of the help file. Often, users prefer to view the feeds in the ration listed in a specific order. NittanyCow automatically assigns an order number, seen here, and users can click the arrow button at the top of the column to put feeds in numerical order. To change the order, users can manually enter the desired order numbers, or you can use the convenient drag and drop method to order feeds. Using this method, simply left-click and hold on the feed you wish to move, then drag the feed up or down the ration. When you reach the desired position for this feed, release the mouse, and NittanyCow will move the feed just above the feed you dropped it over. Users may also order feeds alphabetically by clicking the feed or type column headings. To restore the feed list to the numerical order, simply click the arrow at the top of the order number column. You may have to click the arrow twice to restore the desired order. Also, because of the internal workings of NittanyCow, the feed order may become jumbled when you add other feeds to an existing ration, but again, simply click the arrow button to restore the correct order. You will notice that as you alter feed analyses and change the feed content of the ration, you will see some cells highlighted in pink, both for specific feeds in the ration as well as for some nutrient totals at the bottom of the ration. Some nutrient contents for feeds are automatically calculated by NittanyCow, for example NFC, and if the user chooses to alter this value, NittanyCow will highlight it in pink to indicate that the displayed value differs from what NittanyCow calculates the correct value to be. Users can switch between the manually entered and calculated values by right-clicking on the highlighted cell and selecting Use Calculated Value or Use Manual Value as appropriate. If you switch to the calculated value, the pink highlight will disappear, but you can always switch back to the manual value until the ration is saved or closed with the calculated value listed. If you trust NittanyCow to calculate the correct values for all nutrients, you can select Reset Calculations from the Options menu, which will convert all feed values highlighted in pink to the calculated value. Be careful when using the Reset Calculations function. Although it will not overwrite any altered values for fields that are not calculated by NittanyCow, any manually entered data for calculated fields will be permanently lost. In some cases, the difference between the manual and calculated value for a particular cell may just be a matter of rounding, so using the reset calculations function will not significantly alter the predicted content of the ration. At the bottom of the ration, you may see some totals highlighted in pink. This indicates that the total for that nutrient is more than 5% different than the predicted requirement. Although this may be acceptable in some cases, NittanyCow highlights these values to bring the user's attention to any nutrients which may be over or underfed. Any totals that are not highlighted in pink are within 5% of the predicted requirement. Finally, users may often create multiple similar rations for a single client or dairy. For example, a user may wish to create a lactating cow diet for high producers and a lactating cow diet for low producers, or one diet for fresh cows and another diet for later lactation cows. Because these rations are likely to contain most or all of the same feeds, it is faster to create a copy of the existing ration and make the appropriate adjustments, rather than create an entirely new ration from scratch. To do this, select the Save As command from the ration menu, then assign the appropriate name to the second ration. If you would like to assign this ration to a different catalog, or create a new catalog for this ration, you can do so here. Once the ration has been named and assigned to a catalog, click OK. Note that the ration name, seen here, now changes to reflect the new ration, and any changes made at this point will not affect the original ration. Now go to the cow worksheet, and make the appropriate changes to the animal information. NittanyCow will now update the predicted requirements based on the new information, and users can make adjustments to the ration accordingly. Please note that if you manually changed any requirements in the original ration, NittanyCow may not update that requirement in the copied ration, so you will have to right-click on this value and choose the Use Calculated Value option. This concludes Tutorial 2. For more information, please consult the NittanyCow help file and other NittanyCow tutorials, or contact NittanyCow customer support to ask more questions.